Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. I hope you're all doing great, and welcome to this new video on XRP. We're going to do a full technical and fundamental update here. Excuse me, there's something in my eye. But first of all, I hope you're all doing great, of course. I hope you're having a good week, and most of you are probably having a good week. I mean, first of all, XRP has been very bullish. And second of all, if you watch my videos, it was also to be expected. I mean, the first time we hit this major resistance level between 2.6 and 2.5, I said, I think we'll respect it, and I think we drop down, which is also arguably what we did. But if you remember the video yesterday, and if you watched the video yesterday, what I said is that I think we're going to break out. We might consolidate for a bit longer, but I think ultimately we're breaking out. And the main level to watch is that level at 2.6, excuse me. So that's what we did. Now we have formed a double top right here, as you can see. So what I expect now is that we'll drop down all the way back down to 1.7. And I'm kidding. All right, it's a joke. No, I'm very bullish on XRP right now. I mean, there are some things that I do think we need to be slightly careful with, but ultimately, this is very bullish. I mean, we broke the range that we have been in for the majority of the time between the start of December and 2 days back. And the last time we did that, it was a fake out. But now, I mean, we have, first of all, we have much more momentum, as you can see right here. This is the momentum right now. This was the momentum back then. Back then it looked much more shady. And then outside of that, we now actually have some sort of a fundamental reason to be bullish with Trump coming into office next week. And that is also the main thing that I wanted to talk about, because this looks like a move that is fully fueled because of that. It's a real move, right? We have real leverage coming in. We have real volume growth coming in as well. Volume is up 40%, up to $13 billion. So that's all great. So I think, first of all, this is not a fake out. I think it is a real breakout. The one thing that I am slightly worried about, or not worried about, but there's two things that I think you need to be cautious for. One of them is actually an opportunity, and that is the inflation rate. Today we have CPI and inflation rate data coming out. It's going to make the markets very volatile, right? So I actually think that if we get some bearish data from this, that's obviously bad for the markets. But I actually think those are ideal circumstances to catch an entry on XRP, because like I said, regardless of the inflation rate data outcome, I still think that XRP is going to hold this breakout. So this area right here between 2.7, 2.6, maybe 2.5, but I don't think we'll drop down there on the short term. It brings an opportunity to get in if you're too late. And outside of that, the one thing that I am a little bit worried about perhaps is that today, if you don't know in terms of news, it is the deadline for the SEC to file their opening brief in the appeal to Judge Torres, right? Most of you will understand. So that's an important date, and I wonder, I don't think this is true, but what could be true is that some people and some traders anticipate that they will not file their opening brief, even though the Ripple team actually does expect that, right? So I expect that as well. So I think the market expects that we will still see an appeal from the SEC, which is bearish, of course. But what we could see is that we have, if we actually get the news that the SEC, excuse me, files their opening brief for the appeal, we could also, similarly to the inflation rate data today, see some sort of a spike down. Now, ultimately, I think this bullish momentum is more because of the Trump, because of Trump coming into office, which is bullish regardless of the inflation rate and regardless of whether the SEC files an appeal, yes or no, for Ripple. So ultimately, I still do expect this, but I do think there's two events today that can actually cause some spikes down. So as long as you're prepared for that, I think, like I said, ultimately this breakout will hold, and I do think we can actually rally up higher into $3.1, $3.2 after getting that news out of the way. But those are my thoughts. That's what I think you need to know for now regarding the news and the technicals. If you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments. But for now, thank you for watching. Take care and bye.